This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, I want to talk about LeBron James, and I want to talk about this cat, and how all of a sudden he's sitting here trying to tell people he's still in his prime. Look here, man. The reality is this: LeBron James is no longer in his prime. The cat is pretty much on the tail end of his career, on the back end of his career. You know, the way I see it is it's like this: Kevin Durant is dominating, and he's pretty much trounced, defeated LeBron James back to back in the NBA Finals. That trend is not going to stop. I've been quoted saying this before in previous videos, and I'm just going to continue to say it again. It's not his time. It's not his era anymore. Kevin Durant got this guy's number at this point. And people want to sit here and get on Kevin Durant, and that's why I had liked, that exchange between Nick Wright, and that other journalist, not journalist, but that other, TV personality, on Fox. I like how he digged into Nick Wright. His name's not coming to me right now, but any of you guys, if you remember his name, you can talk about his name in the comment description. His name's just not coming to me right now, but when it does, I'll be able to tell you later on in the video. But the reality is, he was pointing out some irrefutable stuff that couldn't be countered, and one of the things that couldn't be countered was the fact that Kevin Durant, in those fourth quarters of those back-to-back, NBA finals, he dominated LeBron James. Nick Wright wants to sit here and give you all of these, ridiculous stats about LeBron James and say he's the most clutch player in the fourth quarter. Where was he in the last two finals against Kevin Durant? He wants to sit here and tell you LeBron James has shot a higher three-point percentage than Kevin Durant. That's nonsense. Career average, Kevin Durant is at 38%. LeBron James is at 34%. So, and if you want to be, precise, Kevin Durant is 38.4. LeBron James is 34.4. And that's just the reality of it. So when you sit there and you got somebody like the Nick Wrights of the world that want to sit here and skew stats because he's a LeBron writer, and I'm not one of these people that want to use the vulgar or give, vulgarity and mention the term of what he truly is. But this guy's an N writer for LeBron James, man. If you guys know what the N word is, in regards to what I'm saying here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's just, it's like he holds LeBron's jock straps or something. It's just ridiculous how this guy just wants to sit here. Him and the Shannon Sharp, they want to sit here and make LeBron James seem like, he's the greatest player in the world. You see, and this is the problem with, LeBron fans, LeBron apologists. It's like you can't say anything. I've said this before in a previous video. You can't say anything bad about this dude. Like everything this dude does. Even if this dude pooped the right way, people will say his poop smelled like potpourri. I mean, that's just the reality of things, And then they want to sit here and vilify Kevin Durant when LeBron James did the same thing. People act like LeBron James, when he got with Dwayne Wade wasn't the top 5 player at that time. Matter of fact, I'm kind of like yawning or whatever. Sorry about that. It's been an arduous day for me, but Dwayne Wade, he was a top 3 player, right before LeBron James came on that team in 2010. People forget that, man. He played with a top 3 player in Dwayne Wade, and at that time, Chris Bosh was arguably a top 10 player. So, this whole thing about Kevin Durant is playing with, the team that beat him. You don't join the team that beat him. I mean, there's truth to people saying that, but, and I would sit there as a competitor, as someone, who wants to see competition at the highest level, and someone who prescribes to the MJ, Kobe Bryant style of play, the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson style of play and stuff like that and things of that nature. Yeah, I agree with what cats are coming from. These old school purists and people that, that prescribe to, this is the way basketball should be played. I understand where they're coming from. But at the same time, Kevin Durant was just following LeBron James' blueprint. You know, people want to sit here and make it seem like, oh, LeBron did it differently because he didn't go to the team that beat him. Doesn't matter if he didn't go to the team that beat him. He did the same crap that Kevin Durant did. So, you know, what is this nonsense when people want to sit here and say, well, you know, Kevin Durant, you know, I just can't stand this guy. It's like, see, this is the thing. This is why, you know, people that have, you know, a smidget of respect for LeBron James won't even give him that, because LeBron fans and LeBron apologists, they make it so hard for you to, you know, even acknowledge and say something good about LeBron James. That's how bad it is with them, man. And that's just the truth. I mean, they sit here, you know, and they act like LeBron James, you know, stuff don't stink, man. And that's not cool. LeBron has a lot of weaknesses. His three-point game is suspect, you know, at best. LeBron James' mid-range game is shoddy. You know, his free throw game is atrocious. For him to be such a dominant player and to be able to just, you know, and shoot free throws at abysmal, you know, high 60, low 70%. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Top players usually are 80% and better from the free throw line. You trust them. You know, I mean, on my standard, you got to be at least 84% better, man, because when the game is on the line, it's incumbent upon you to be relied to shoot free throws, you know, and to dominate, man, and to score, you know, in ridiculous fashion. So when guys are sitting here and they're acting like, you know, LeBron James, you know, doesn't have fallacies, the man has plenty of fallacies. Another thing, too, people want to sit here and say, well, the Miami Heat team was the only team that he played with that had great players. That's false. You know, that's heresy, man. That's fallacy at the highest level. How you gonna sit here and say that? It's like you don't know the game of basketball, man. I haven't used that term in a while. You know, that's the problem with these people out here. They don't know shit about basketball, man, and they want to run their mouths and they want to talk. That's the problem with them. You know, and that's the thing with this Rudy Poo generation. They just want to sit here and act like they know the game when they don't. People like me, that's a purist, that's a connoisseur of this game. I understand the game in and out, man, the magnitudes of this game. You know, and the thing is this. Like I said, LeBron James has lost against all these teams that are so-called rivals. He has a losing record against them. He has a losing record against the San Antonio Spurs. He's 1-2 against them in the NBA Finals. He has a losing record against the Golden State Warriors. He's 1-3 against them in the NBA Finals. He has a losing record against Dallas Mavericks. He's 0-1 against them in the NBA Finals. I mean, the list goes on and on, man, on how this guy has a losing record. The only team he has a winning record on, well, not even, because for a while he was 1-0 against Kevin Durant, and then now all of a sudden, you know, he's 1-2 against Kevin Durant. And this is the guy that everyone wants to sit here and say, you know, and want to utter the most ridiculous things and want to say he's the GOAT. He's better than MJ. When you 3 for 9 in the NBA Finals and you're averaging an abysmal 33%, how are you the GOAT, man? This is what I don't understand. Like, how are you the greatest of all time? And this is why people want to sit here and, you know, and want to act like they don't know the game, man. You know, people are caught up in this microwave generation where, you know, they're just prisoners of the moment, man. It's like they're prisoners of the super moment. You know, they just see LeBron James in front of them and they're like, oh, this is the greatest thing we've ever seen. No, he's not, man. I'm sorry. There's levels to this stuff, man. There's been players in this league that has done greater things, that have performed greater feats than this guy. Now, am I sitting here acting like I have a hate for LeBron James? No, I don't have hate for this man. I actually think, you know, and it's a stretch to call him a great player. I know people are going to be like, what? What did you just say? It is. Because people forget, Dwayne Wade was like his, you know, psychologist. You know, when he went to Miami Heat, he had to go to school. He had to go to the Dwayne Wade school so that Dwayne Wade could mold him, man. That's what people fail to realize. Dwayne Wade put this man on notice. If it wasn't for Dwayne Wade, LeBron James would not be an NBA champion. If it wasn't for Pat Riley, LeBron James would not be an NBA champion. These guys made LeBron James who he is. And without those guys, this guy right here would not be a 3-time NBA champion. That's just the reality, man. LeBron James is also his other biggest fallacy is he's not a clutch player. See, I want to when people like Nick Wright want to sit here and say, well, LeBron's the most clutch player. This is the thing with stats, man. Stats can really confuse people because in the game of basketball, everybody know, and I've said this before, it's all about the eye test, man. You and I know in the trenches what time it is. There's a reason why, old school players and, old school coaches and all of these old school basketball experts and purists put Kobe Bryant ahead of LeBron James because they know what time it is. I mean, you just heard Larry Bird so many years ago say, hey, if I want to have fun, and it was, hey, you could take it as however you want to take it as, a slight, whatever you want to take it as, but the man was telling the truth. When I want to have fun, I play with LeBron James. But when I want to win championships, I play with Kobe Bryant. And if you notice, and I'm going to say it in his quote unquote, he said, when you want to have fun, LeBron James reminds me of Bill Walton. When you want to have fun, you play with him. But when you want to win, you play with Kobe Bryant. Meaning he understood with Kobe, you're going to win three or more times. You're going to win multiple times. There's going to be multiplicity of wins with Kobe because Kobe is, like he said, he's tough, man. That boy is tough. His only knock on Kobe was, hey, he's not going to shoot as much. And rightfully so. Larry Bird is well within his right to say that because Larry Bird has enough, umption in him to say that because he was a clutch player in his own right, and he was a dominant factor in his own right. So, yeah, Kobe would have to divvy up that ball to the likes of a Larry Bird. They would have to find a way to play together. And Kobe's done it before with Shaq. He's done it before with Paul Gasol. So it's not like he wouldn't do it again, more so with Larry Bird. Those guys probably win 4 more titles. But here's the reality of it, man. Larry told you. Magic has been quoted saying it. Charles Barkley said, look, I'm if I gotta rank it, LeBron James is not ahead of Kobe Bryant or Tim Duncan. I got him at 7, and I got Kobe at 5, and I got Duncan at 6. That's what he said, man. A lot of these legends out here know what time it is. And players like Kenyon Martin, players like Steven Jackson, players like, you even heard new school players like Paul George, even cats that LeBron James has played with, Dwayne Wade, the Carmelo Anthonys of the world, man. I mean, they all have talked about Kobe Bryant being better than LeBron James. And there's a reason for that, man. All you got to do is look at that, All-Star game, man. The year before the last year Kobe went out, man. And go look at how Kobe ripped up and blocked LeBron James. And that was a Kobe past his prime. Imagine Kobe was in his prime, man. He'd lock up LeBron, man. And people want to sit here and say, well, and this is what LeBron apologists and LeBron fans going to say, well, LeBron James got a better NBA regular season than Kobe. But see, this is the thing. You see, you can't have your cake and want to eat it too. Remember, basketball is a team game, right? LeBron James had better teams than Kobe Bryant at those times. And that's just a fact. So if LeBron James did not have better teams, he wouldn't have won most of those. Everybody thinks it's a LeBron versus a Kobe thing or a Kobe versus LeBron. LeBron had a lot more better teams, especially those 4 years in Miami. I mean, that's 4 years. You played the Lakers twice. That's basically, when you do the math, I mean, that's 4 years, man. 2 times. That's 8 times. That's potential 8 wins extra for LeBron James. That's not even including when Kobe Bryant's Lakers sucked, as Kobe Bryant, started getting an advanced age, and LeBron had, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. That's another thing. He had Kyrie Irving, another top 5 player, and Kevin Love, a top 15 player. So I don't understand this crap about LeBron James. They ain't had nobody. And how many years has LeBron been in the league? 15 seasons? And how many years has he played with great players? Over 50%. 8 of those years. Because he spent 4 years in Cleveland and 4 years in Miami. And when I say 4 years in Cleveland, I'm talking about in those times playing with those guys. Obviously, the man spent 11 years in Cleveland and 4 years in Miami. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. 4 years with playing with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love and 4 years playing with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. That's over half your NBA career. So I don't want to hear this. And then pre those guys, people want to sit here and act like those Cleveland teams weren't dominant, man. If you go and you look at the stats of 2007, 2008, 2009, these were the years where the Cleveland Cavaliers were having 66 and 16. They were winning over 60 games each of those years. You know, they had if you match their 66 and 16 versus the year that the OKC was 67 and 15, these guys, LeBron James had 3 or 4 guys, sometimes more, that were in double-digit scoring. So when people sit here and act like he just played with ducks, I don't understand what they're talking about, man. All you got to do is go back and look at the 2007 season. Look at the 2008 season. Look at the 2009 season. Look at the 2010 season. Just go look at these seasons before LeBron left. You know, yeah, the year he got whooped up against Orlando, and he could have potentially met Kobe in the finals. What record did they have at that time? They were 66 and 16, man. They were the best team in the East. So this is what I don't understand, man. There's this big misnomer going around making it seem like this guy played with nobody. It's just ridiculous. Everybody want to put a knock on, they put a knock on Magic when they called him Tragic Magic. They put a knock on Larry when they said Larry couldn't get past Magic and Magic dominated him. They put a knock on Isaiah Thomas when it was like, man, the Pistons, you know, they're like third tier. They're not beating the Los Angeles Lakers, or they're not beating, you know, the Boston Celtics. But they got over the hump and they went back to back. They defeated Boston, they got past the East, and then they eventually beat the Lakers, and they got back-to-back titles. You know, all of these people got over the hump, but they all were vilified. Jordan, man, you know, he's such a great player, but he can't be the greatest because, you know, he's just a scorer. You know, he won't win no championships, all up until he won. Kobe Bryant, you know, he can't win without Shaq. What'd he do? 2 finals and 2 finals MVPs, you know. But LeBron James, man, every time he loses in the NBA finals, you know, his fans, his apologists got another excuse lined up for him. Oh, it wasn't LeBron James, man. It was everybody else. This is the only player I've seen in NBA history where there's always an excuse for this guy, man. It's just ridiculous. You know, and that's the thing. Like, no one wants to call him out for what he was, for what he's done. He's the one that started, you know, this Justice League in the NBA, this Super Friends in the NBA, where, you know, guys are getting together and they want to play all of a sudden, and they all want to be, you know, super friends and things of that nature. He's the one that started that. So when people want to sit here and get mad at Kevin Durant, it ain't Kevin Durant's fault. All Kevin Durant did is he beat LeBron James at his own game. Okay, you taught me the blueprint on Super Friends. Now I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to get on a Super Friends team, so much to the point where I block you up and ensure that you don't win nothing and you never win nothing. And that's what's happening. Kevin Durant single-handedly got on Golden State Warriors. That team became over the top. Now they got DeMarcus Cousins. They are, like I said in the previous video, super over the top. And LeBron James is stuck now. Now he's not going to make it out of the West. He's not going to make it to win in the NBA Finals. You know, which is better for him because, like I said in a previous video, his finals average won't go worse and worse. But it's still going to look bad because now he's not going to make it to the NBA Finals. You know, Stephen Curry waiting for him. Kevin Durant waiting for him. Yeah, welcome to the West. But guess what? You about to get trounced up. You're not beating us. The Houston Rockets, if they get Carmelo Anthony, he's not getting ahead of that team either. You know, people want to sit here and act like this Lakers team, they don't got no Kawhi Leonard on that team. They don't got no Jimmy Butler on that team. They don't got no Anthony Davis on that team. And they don't got 2 3-and-D guys, like I've said in a previous video, and a legendary coach in order for them to compete. They don't have that. That's what they would need to be neck and neck with the Golden State Warriors. They don't have that. And that's what people need to understand, and people need to see that for what it is. Stop overrating this man. Stop overrating this guy. Stop making it you know, I want to sit here and respect him and call him a great player, but you LeBron apologists and you LeBron fans, you're taking it away from me, man. You know, at best, I could just say he's a very good player, because the more you guys make excuses for him, the more you make me see the vulnerabilities and the weaknesses with this guy. Every time he's faced adversity, he cowers, leaves the situation, and goes somewhere else. I thought Cleveland was his hometown. I thought this is where he was going to retire for the rest of his career. No. What ends up happening? He go to Los Angeles. When he was in Miami, I thought, man, when he was with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, man, he was going not one, right? Not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, right? And then he turned around and said, and I wouldn't have said this if this wasn't so. What happened, LeBron? How come you only did 2 for 4? How come you only won 50%? See, this is the thing that people need to, look at for what it is, man, and stop overrating this guy. Stop putting him over the MJ 2-3s. Stop putting him over the KB 2-4s. Stop putting him over the Magics of the world. Stop putting him over the Tim Duncans of the world. Stop putting him over the Shaqs of the world. Stop putting him over the Larry Birds of the world. He's not better than these guys. Stop it. It's ridiculous when you guys do that, man. It's disrespectful, man. You guys act like these legends don't exist. Stop putting him over the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars of the world. Stop putting him over the Bill Russells of the world, man. There's guys that's done this thing on a higher level than this guy, and they deserve the true and proper respect that they deserve. Stop it, people. Stop it. This is He Knows His Sport. Checking out.